If you want to know how AI actually works across every critical business function, you want to come to Oracle AI World Tour, and this stop is in New York City. Welcome to Oracle TV. I'm Shanna Adamic, your Oracle TV anchor and your guide through our conversations today. And we're going to take you inside the art of the possible when AI is embedded and connected in the technology platform that helps you automate and run your organization. We're also going to illustrate for you what that looks like across the full Oracle portfolio, in the Oracle Cloud, in the Oracle back office and front office applications, in the Oracle database, and in the brand new Oracle AI data platform. We're also going to bring you a few customer stories so that you can see what happens when organizations start to see real results. All of this and more when we come back to Oracle TV.
Nearly half a century ago, Oracle transformed how the world managed data. More than a decade ago, we reimagined how business works in the cloud. And now, as AI reshapes how we operate, compete, and innovate, Oracle is once again leading the way. That data, it's now your AI fuel. That cloud, it now trains and runs the world's most powerful AI models. And those models, they power the Gen AI built into your business processes and the AI agents that automate it all. Oracle brings AI to every corner of your business so you can imagine beyond the boundaries of what's possible. Whether it's leveraging AI to increase productivity, make decisions faster, and save money, using AI-powered forecasting to secure and maintain a power grid for millions of customers, training AI models to make the world's most powerful particle accelerator run faster and more efficiently, or harnessing AI vector search to tackle antibiotic resistance. We help you stay ahead because Oracle was built for the era of AI, so we can build the future of AI for you.
All right, well, thank you for joining us here at Oracle TV, and I am excited to bring our first customer, Rick Hare, CIO of Corporate Technologies at M&T Bank. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I'm anxious to jump into this conversation and learn more about your operation. So let's just start there and give us a sense of where M&T is at today and, what's your role in shaping how it operates and grows?
So M&T Bank is a regional bank. So we're primarily in the East Coast, we're based in Buffalo, New York. We have a long history of being a community, led bank. We've grown over acquisitions. We're about over $200 billion in assets. So we're right tipping that category 3 from a regulatory perspective. And so as a CIO of Corporate Technology, my role was really to make sure all of our corporate technologies with finance, treasury, HR, risk, compliance, audit, they're all performing at a high level from a scalability perspective. We're right on the tipping point, growing organically as well as through acquisition. So making sure we're meeting the regulatory needs, but also scaling for growth.
And if I'm understanding correctly, you've been through a multi-year initiative to modernize. And how, I'd be interested to know your goals when you began, and then how have they changed?
Well,
if they've changed.
Oh, they have. So when I took kind of over the finance technology role, all of our technology assets were end of life, beyond end of life. In fact, our general ledger was implemented in 1976.
Oh, wow.
So in the 70s. And so we're getting ready to go live with Oracle GL on Monday. And so it's been a multi-year
Congratulations.
process. Thank you. Yes. And so at a necessity, we really had to modernize. It was really preventing us from growing through acquisition, being able to enable our businesses, focusing on a lot of manual processes where we needed to really be more automated and not really having our data in a central place. So we have really gone well and above now from a modernization of not only having just on-prem tech stack and moving to the cloud, but modernizing a true older technology to a newer technology.
Yeah, that truly is a journey that you've been on.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to know, how has your relationship with Oracle evolved during that process? Because I can only imagine that you have learned things along the way of operating, at this scale.
Yeah, I mean, when we first selected Oracle, it was overwhelming at times because you guys have such rich functionality, so many different products. Where do you start? What's the order and delivery, and how to bring it all together?
Right.
And so in many respects, the relationship was more transactional. But over time, as we've been delivering one at a time of these different functionalities and capabilities, it's turned to a very much a strategic partnership where Oracle's expertise, putting us in the best position to succeed and to bring all the systems together and having all the data in one place. It's been great. I built tremendous relationships with Oracle, where I can text, pick up the phone, have a phone call with an executive Oracle and meet our needs real time. So it's been a really good journey.
I think that's great to hear. And you said something that I think many people feel, and that's where do you start?
Yeah.
Because there's so much. And I think that's also something we pride ourselves on, is being able to get in there right away
Yes.
with you and help you and let that relationship does evolve.
Yes, it does. Being in the trenches, you learn, right? There's
You
gonna be
do learn.
ups and downs of projects. It's just the way it is. But when you have a trusted advisor, trusted partner, it really goes a long ways. So, and it's not just a stop, right? It's going to be continuous, even beyond our delivery milestones. So even though our general ledger is a big milestone for us, we're going to continue to push past that and other things. And, this is a big moment in our bank's history. It's almost like a generational change, if you will. Our GL is like the heartbeat of the company, provides all the regulatory data, all of our financial statements to the market and our stakeholders.
I appreciate you saying that, because it is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a generational change. So we're talking a lot about AI today.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is a conversation and it's changing everything.
Yes.
But it's really underpinned by advanced analytics. So where are you seeing that have the most impact and how decisions are made across the bank?
So enabling our data to be now all within the Oracle ecosystem allows us to really make decisions with that data. Instead of what we've been doing for years is all the account reconciliation, making sure everything ticks and ties. And we spend a lot of energy and a lot of focus there. But now having all of our data in one place, having the Oracle products be able to serve us in a way that we can use that data for decision-making. How do we run our businesses, our profitability segments, our funds transfer pricing calculations? These are things we just have not had the tools before.
Right.
And it's really going to springboard us. And I'm really optimistic. I think AI, while we have some of that within our current deliveries, this is a stepping stone for us to get into that as well.
And I love that word, optimistic.
Yes.
And you should be.
Yes.
And so, looking ahead, last question is, what has all of this done for the opportunities that are going to be there for you?
Well, I feel like we're leading the bank in a lot of areas, especially our opportunities with AI. We have use cases that are very made perfect for AI, whether it's accounts payable, invoicing, whether it's our regulatory reporting. Again, I've said it a couple of times already, but the data is so important. Having it in one central place, we have been not optimized in a way. We've in our bank's history reacting more than being proactive, and so this gives us opportunity to be proactive,
right,
and to be able to leverage AI to enable our employees to really to do more and focus on the right things. So.
Absolutely. Well, I'm optimistic too,
Yes.
and I'm excited for you.
Great.
I'm also, really thrilled about the relationship that we've had to be able to get to this point, and there's a lot of opportunity ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here,
Thank you so
Rick.
much. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we'll be right back here on Oracle TV.
Thank you.
We chose Oracle Fusion Cloud HCM just to bring all of our disparate systems into one platform. There was a lot of manual work that was happening and just the labor intensity of managing data from hire all the way through the employee lifecycle. The system has enabled us to review our processes and really reduce the number of manual processes that we have at the school. So that obviously leads to a better outcome for our staff.
Well, welcome back to Oracle TV at Oracle AI World Tour in New York City. And I am joined by Mark Hura, the president of Global Field Operations at Oracle. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Shanna. It's a pleasure to be here. It's the energy and the excitement here in New York City is just phenomenal. So many customers and partners here. It's exciting to see.
Absolutely. I mean, you can feel it with everyone walking out of that keynote and just kind of the buzz you feel in the room. And I have to tell you, every time I listen to you speak, the one thing that I take away is our unique position, how we are positioned to support every industry at every layer of the business, delivering on trust, choice, scale in the full portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about our portfolio, it truly is a unique advantage that Oracle brings to our customers and our enterprises and governments all around the world. They've been trusting us for nearly 5 decades with mission critical systems, mission critical data that we've been a custodian of. And now it's about bringing innovation throughout the entire set of our capabilities and portfolio, whether it's at the infrastructure layer, it's the data and a data platform layer, and it's the application layer where we're embedding agents so that work and productivity can happen and agentic capabilities can be utilized easily across enterprises around the world. But most importantly is using their data, trusted data that's secure in any environment. And that is a critical component. It's really the heritage and the foundation of the Oracle's origin story.
Absolutely. Trusted and secure. And so would you say that's, in this big shift, that's what you want customers to take away, and the way they look at, AI across Oracle is different now?
It's absolutely different. The one thing that is consistent, though, is that we've been this custodian of mission critical data and information, and we are insatiable about security. And we take security incredibly seriously. And that goes back to our heritage and our roots. But when you're dealing with the biggest banks, the biggest healthcare companies, the biggest telco companies, energy and utilities, and governments around the world, no matter where they are, data is their most important asset, and making sure it's secure. And then that data is utilized in a way that has the appropriate governance, the security, the identity, so that when we're serving up, and again, this vertical capability that we have of serving up AI models, training, inferencing off of their data, not in the public domain, on our AI data platform and our secure AI database into our applications, that is allowing them to take advantage of incredible capabilities that are just changing rapidly, and things that we didn't think about, weeks ago, months ago, years ago, are just becoming the new norm today.
Right.
And the ability to do that securely in enterprises is one of the most important things. You can't let that data go somewhere else. You can't let it go to a competitor. You can't let it go into the open market. It shouldn't be in certain employees' hands in some cases. So how do you make sure that we do this and go and really think about what's most important to the enterprises so that they can focus in on what's most important to them?
Absolutely. Trust is key and trust is core.
Yeah.
And so, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're across every industry.
Yeah.
So talk to me about cross-industry innovation. What are our customers learning from each other?
Oh, it's a great way to think about the dynamic part of our portfolio. You think about the industries that we serve, whether it's financial services, and think about risk, compliance, controls that are in that business. Think about retail and what has to happen in retail, merchandising, transportation, logistics. Think about what happens across energy, right? And think about security of energy supply and the capabilities. Each one of these different areas, clients can learn from one another. In fact, Oracle brings those best practices and capabilities. If you're a retailer and you're using our industry suite of applications, it's not just Fusion for ERP and supply chain and transportation logistics, but it's warehouse management, it's point of sale, it's customer loyalty, it's merchandising. But beyond that, if you're a retailer and you have brick and mortar, you have warehouses, you have distribution centers, you can utilize Oracle's construction and engineering portfolio to make sure that you're managing those capital projects. Or you may utilize our financial services portfolio to provide loan and lease capabilities, or buy now, pay later capabilities. And all of these different solutions apply in each one of these different industry segments. So we bring the best practices of what is working for that specific industry and bring it into, as an example here in financial services, in retail. Think about this in retail. If you go into a bank, a bank today, a modern bank, it looks like a retail store.
Right.
It looks like an environment where you go in and you're sitting down and you're maybe having a coffee, or it looks like maybe a little bit of a restaurant or a cafe. Well, we're bringing the retail experience into the financial services industry so that they know what customers' expectations are and how they want to be treated and how they want to engage. And that's so important to be able to bring that cross-industry experience as well as the technology and how it all works together to be trusted, secure, scalable, no matter where they are.
I like that. And that thread through it all is the experience. I mean, we could actually talk about several other industries, hospitality, healthcare, like all of those and how they connect to each other. I think that's a really interesting conversation. But what I want to know is, in simple terms, how can you help me understand how all of these things fit together for customers' results? It's applications, data, and infrastructure.
Yeah, it's all three of them. And if you think about where Oracle provides value, and many customers, as you think about deploying incredible SaaS capabilities that have AI embedded and extended, where we're not just bolting something on, well, we're truly embedded throughout the entire workflow process for our customers. It takes advantage of every layer of that stack. Many customers don't even realize as we're deploying Fusion or industry suites of applications, the technology innovation behind that platform of what's happening real time around upgrading the infrastructure, upgrading the databases, upgrading the compute capabilities, upgrading the identity and security, all of that is something that Oracle does for our customers. And when we think about where all of this capability resides, a customer may need infrastructure to run their largest compute infrastructure workloads. And we do that, and we do it really well. We have an incredible late mover advantage and an economic throughput. Oracle's AI database is the most trusted and secure database for mission critical data at scale. And we've given our customers choice around how and where they can deploy databases anywhere in their environments. We bring the cloud to them in OCI or in our partner hyperscale clouds, or in the industry suites of applications, and ensuring that they're getting business value, operational value, as well as value that cuts across their entire operations in the industries that they're serving, where AI is fed and embedded throughout that entire stack. So it really is taking advantage of the entire portfolio like no other company in the world can provide.
That's pretty amazing. And when I think about it from a customer who wants to take that first step, and this is my final question, it's what could you tell them? Where could they take that first step if they want to start, implementing AI in their business?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the easy thing is, if you look at a function, if I'm talking to a CFO and they say, hey, we want to start, I'm not really sure where to start, we don't want to distract our employees, great. Turn on the embedded AI capabilities within Fusion in the finance function and get all of your users using it easily, and it's secure. And it manages access control. That's a very easy way to get started, to start adopting and deploying. And then you can go into the Agent Studio and start taking advantage of our agent applications that are within, that stays with the lineage, the compliance, the auditability, the security of those applications. These are very easy ways. And then you have the opportunity to bring all of your enterprise data together in our AI data platform to deliver incredible outcomes across your business. These are easy ways for our customers to get started within the applications or looking at all of their enterprise data so that they can solve their most pressing business challenges.
Amazing. Trust, choice, scale. Mark, I always learn something when talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back right after this.
Enabling AI features in our recruit and our talent management modules has really allowed us to see an improvement in our employee and our candidate experience. AI agents are going to help us really drive the adoption of self-service. It will support our employees and managers, finding the answers and giving them guidance in the flow of work.
Well, welcome back to Oracle TV, and I'm excited to sit down with our next guest, Chris Leone, who is the Executive Vice President of Applications Development at Oracle, to talk a little bit about what's next in the evolution for AI inside Fusion applications. Chris, thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be back.
All right. Well, we just announced 22 new Fusion Agentic applications. So can you bring us back to exactly what agentic means, and also what this shift means for how we think about automation?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, agentic is really how you can inject AI into a system, right? So agentic systems have AI as part of them. And agentic applications do just that. We're taking AI, we're building it into our applications. It's actually a new agentic pattern. It's a number of agents that collaborate together, each having their own skill to achieve a business outcome defined by a business process. So it's really a whole new class of applications that we're delivering something truly different than what the market has seen to date.
And just to break that out a little bit more, so the
Sure.
difference between AI agents and applications.
Yeah. So AI agents are kind of a unit of work. An AI agent is a skill or a process definition that you want to build into an agent. So an AI agent is a unit of work that you want to define. They can take different forms. It can be in a workflow automation. So we have workflow automations that can be solve an end-to-end process where an agent is one step in that end-to-end workflow. Agentic applications are different. So workflow agents really are a predefined path. So I want to solve a problem with some reasoning as part of it. Agentic applications are trying to achieve an outcome. So teams of agents with specific skills work together, always reasoning back to what is the outcome that I'm trying to solve. So it's really it's not a predefined path. It really is trying to work together to understand what is the next step that you should take, and always going back to what is the outcome that you're trying to achieve.
Got it. A predetermined path or defined path, and then actually focused on the outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you take one of those 22
Sure.
and walk us through end to end?
Yeah, sounds great. I'll give you the Source and Command Center. So it's a really easy one to understand. So Source and Command Center is working through, first you define an outcome or objective that you want for this process. And it's a pretty broad process. So the outcome might be, I want to reduce my supplier spend by 15%. And I want to reduce lead times to get new inventory by 10%. That's the outcome I want to achieve. And then what I do is I bring together a team of specialist agents. One agent might be specialist in negotiations. One might be a specialist in creating RFQs. One might be a specialist in responding to suppliers. So I create this team of agents, and they work together across a very broad set of processes. So they look at demand, they look at inventory, they look at contracts, they look at supplier performance, further than a human could cognitively understand that process.
Wow.
So these agents can kind of work together. They can share context about the process. They have expertise built in, each one having a goal that they need to achieve. But they're all trying to achieve the overall objective, which is reduce supplier spend by 15% and reduce lead times by 10%. So it's a whole new pattern, and we've delivered 22 of these agentic applications. And the first set are really trying to automate work, but also trying to handle kind of a broader cognitive load that just a single human is not able to kind of reason across. And so that's why they're really different, and that's why they can truly help not only move work forward, but execute work with a human, and in many cases autonomously on behalf of a human.
It's pretty amazing to think about that, and to think about being able to do something that we couldn't do. So then when it comes to us, where does the human stay in the loop?
Absolutely. Human is still at the center. So you can define what's great about these agentic applications. First, human have oversight. They can be in the loop for whatever decisions that they want to make. They can make judgment calls. They can make ethical trade-offs. If an agent is stuck, they can make the decision on what to do. However, they can turn up the level of autonomy based on how they feel comfortable. Meaning, if they want more of the transactions to be automatically executed, they can turn up the level of autonomy and increase capacity without always adding additional headcount linearly. They can turn it up for a period of time and then turn it back down. So they have a lot of flexibility to flex these agents up and down and how much autonomy they want to give. And I'll just give you a quick example of how you should think about it. If you're familiar with a full self-driving car. So we have Waymos, obviously, there's Teslas, but when you first go into a self-driving car, you might take your hand off the wheel for down the block, and then you're grabbing onto it. 2 weeks later or a month later, you feel more comfortable. It might take you to the grocery store. And then eventually, maybe it's taking you to, I live in Northern California, to Napa. It's a 2-hour drive and you're not touching the wheel at all. And you're just kind of observing and making sure that nothing is, going out of the ordinary. Agentic applications are the same way. You can think about them. You can start very simple, let them do kind of menial execution of work with oversight. And then you can turn up that autonomy level as you feel more comfortable that they're getting the result, making the right recommendation, executing the right transaction appropriately. You can kind of start to turn up that level of autonomy.
I really appreciate that example of the self-driving car, because I was like that. And so I did do that.
Exactly.
And I also think it's really interesting to think of the autonomy like volume, like you can turn it up to have that. And which is, really good to think about how we stay in the loop with that.
Exactly. Human will be there, and their roles will just change.
Yeah.
Right? They will be more strategic work. They will have the oversight. They will understand the overall context of what they're achieving. but the agents can do so much. So they're just kind of directing traffic, saying, okay, you go work on this problem, you go work on this problem, so they can manage over a broader set of processes, a broader set of work that they can achieve. But they're basically managing teams of agents versus always teams of people that are doing that. So people can go work on those strategic initiatives and manage multiple projects at the same time.
Amazing. Okay, so then really quickly, how is Oracle's approach different to this? How is this becoming enterprise ready from day one?
Yeah, it's great. So these agentic applications, I say they're a complete architectural break from how we've built systems in the past. We started from first principles and really defined what should an application be? What should it do? It should actually solve problems that we're trying to solve in the enterprise. That's how we built them. However, they sit on top of the system of record. They're completely integrated to the Fusion application core. So what that gives us is all the security, all the permissions, all the approvals, and most importantly, all the auditability. So I can audit every transaction. I know who made it, when they made it, why they made it. All of that is auditable. So you can't run an enterprise AI system without all of that security, that auditability in place, because it's just never going to work. So that's the value why we built them and extended Fusion applications with Fusion Agentic Applications, because we get all of that value, we get all of that data residency, and we get all of that security and permissions built into the system.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. I could sit here and talk to you about this forever, and I appreciate the time. Well, we'll be right back on Oracle TV.
Deco Secure moved to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure because we were finding with our previous cloud infrastructure partners that security was a challenge, as was the service that came along with that technology. Something that really drew us to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure in the first place was confidential compute, and we've been using that technology ever since to develop new features on our platform that weren't possible before we partnered with Oracle.
All right, well, we're back again on Oracle TV, and I am joined by Juan Loaiza, Executive Vice President of Oracle AI Database Technologies. Juan, thank you so much for taking time to sit with us.
Happy to be here.
Well, I'm excited to dive into this conversation of running AI where data lives and learning more from you. So let's start right there. Now, you're bringing agentic AI to the database. So why is it important to run these agents next to the data in the database? Or, what does it mean?
Well, agents are the new kind of software development, the new way you solve problems. And so there's different kinds of problems that need to be solved. And for data-centric problems, it makes sense to bring the agents into the database and specialize them for the database. So it understands the security of the database, the auditing of the database, where the data is, the semantics of the data. You don't want to have to explain that to agents and do it yourself. We've already done it for you. So for any kind of data-centric agentic application, you really want to bring your agents to the database, not the database off to some other generic agent.
That makes sense, running it next to the data, and they're the problem solvers.
That's right. And it knows a lot more. It has the expertise. It's specialized for data.
So what's the first mainstream use case that you expect to see, and who is it really going to benefit? I mean, is it SQL developers, app developers, data scientists, analysts?
All of the above.
All of the above. Everyone. It's going to benefit everyone, which is great.
We have close to 100 AI projects going on, and they span the gamut of everything you can think of, because, it's all AI all the time now. So everything from creating schemas, running AI against data, using natural language to interact with the data, generating applications, generating reports, using all the different models that are out there, optimizing the models for the data. Everything you can think of is happening with AI now.
It's pretty incredible that everyone benefits, not just one group. And as we move from, a handful of users to thousands, what are some of the typical breakdowns that would have happened in traditional architecture that Oracle is built to handle differently?
Yeah, so what we're famous for is our ability to handle the most complex workloads in the world. We run the biggest banks, the largest telecoms, the biggest retailers, pharmaceuticals, everything. And that's what we're famous for, and that's what we're bringing to AI also. So all of our agentic AI features, everything we're doing, works with that same framework, and it runs everywhere the database runs, whether it's on premises, in any of the leading clouds. All the mission critical capabilities are all integrated in. So whether it's disaster recovery, security, failover, transactional consistency, atomicity of the data, all that's built in. So you get very secure, very highly available, very scalable AI just out of the box. Not because we're developing this from scratch, it's because these areas we've been working on for decades, and it's very mature, and it's deployed everywhere already. And we're just building, we're running AI where your data already lives in with data systems your data is already in.
So you hit on mission critical. So let's go there I'd love to know, what's going to be the most important mission critical capability that's going to help bring data-centric intelligent solutions at scale?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So I talked about some of these mission critical capabilities. That's easy for us because we've developed infrastructure for decades. The most important thing going forward is how much you trust the results of AI. Yeah. I mean, that's really going to be the key because AI is amazing. It used to be that developing new solutions, new applications, new kinds of data was the hard part. But AI is really, really good at that. So you can go to AI and ask it to do something. It'll generate 10,000, 50,000 lines of code. Then the question becomes, how much do you trust this?
Right.
Can you go production with it? What happens if it needs to change? How long is it going to take you to validate that? Are you willing to bet your career on that? Because it did it in 5 minutes. Now, how long are you going to take to validate the thing? So part of what we're doing is building the trust into the data. So you can't steal data because the database won't let you. If you're an end user, let's say I have a bank account, it won't let AI acting on my behalf see anybody else's data. So it can't steal anybody else's data. It's going to make sure every action is atomic against the data. It's going to validate business rules against the data. So all these rules are built where the data is, so they cannot be bypassed by AI or by any other system. And that's really the way the future's got to go, because the real bottleneck with AI now is not creating things, it's trusting what it creates.
Absolutely. And trust is built in. And, I don't want to bet my career on if I trust it or not. I want to just trust it and trust the results. So thank you for explaining it that way and helping us understand a bit more how AI runs and, it runs where the data lives. Thank you so much, Juan. Appreciate your time. And we'll be back again here on Oracle TV.
We chose Oracle Sovereign Cloud because it is secure, it is fully sovereign, it really enables innovation, it doesn't lack any feature. With Oracle Sovereign Cloud, of course, you can imagine the amount of growth that will bring, because it will tap us to an untapped market. That was difficult to be tapped because we didn't have the full set of features in our previous offerings.
All right, here we go again. We're back on Oracle TV, and it's a pleasure to sit down with my next guest, Nathan Thomas, Senior Vice President of Product Management at Oracle. Nathan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure. Very excited.
I'm excited too, and to talk about how OCI is making it easier for organizations to build, run, and scale AI with confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just launched the OCI Enterprise AI capability. And this combines our generative AI solutions with our agentic solutions and gives customers a single, simple development platform where they can go and build those solutions natively in OCI, simple consumption models, easy integration.
I mean, you make it sound so simple. Is it really that simple?
Well, it's token-based consumption. It's API integration. So for developers, and obviously for folks who are doing vibe coding and things, it's very simple, I think, to make those things plug together and wind up with a workable solution in incredibly fast time. We got a great example. TIM in Brazil built a solution in weeks for integration into their call centers using this technology, and got a 30% reduction in call times and saw improved customer satisfaction. Those are the kind of wins we want to see happen really quick.
So are you able to say to customers they're able to move fast but stay within the guardrails that they want to?
Yeah, guardrails are critical. It's a great question. The solution we're talking about includes a bunch of those kind of integrations. So through to your agents, you can actually be doing definitions of what those agents should and shouldn't have access to, what they should be accepting. Define those guardrails. It's part of the solution.
Yeah, and that is important. Yeah. And you do want both of those. And speaking of what customers want, they want flexibility, they want choice, but they also want consistency. Yeah. So how are you making that possible?
Yeah. One of the core value props of OCI for many years has been that we deliver the same solution in every single region, globally at the same price, the same performance characteristics, same scalability. It's the same with this solution. So that is wherever your business is taking you, whatever global region you need, and over 200 plus OCI public regions, we've got that solution ready to go, and it's going to function and look just the same wherever you are.
Got it. Yeah, and that's great. Just the same wherever you are, for sure. And for customers with strict data residency rules, there's a big difference between saying, you support data sovereignty and actually implementing it.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
One of the things that we've done with OCI is we really focused on the modularity of the cloud itself. So we can take OCI from these public regions and shrink it down to 3 racks. And we can run the exact same set of web services, a couple hundred web services running in that environment, same consumption model, same pricing model, same performance characteristics, same scalability. We can put it in your data center. So we can deliver on a sovereign solution inside of your data center, meet your governance requirements, and meet your needs for whether it's latency or security or privacy. And so it means, you're not talking about some notional situation where, hey, maybe I could do a sort of small scale cloud or some sort of hyper-converged solution. This is the full cloud in your environment. Take it with you, including all of these same enterprise AI services.
Yeah, so there is a difference in saying that and how we say it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so if you're talking to someone who wants to move forward, who's ready to take that next step or leap with AI, what would you tell them to do?
Well, we're ready to go now, right? We've got customers in production across all of these solutions. So I think it can be a little bit overwhelming when you look at all of the different choice that OCI and that Oracle, I think, writ large offers. We've got Oracle AI database solutions. We've got the AI data platform. We've got OCI Enterprise AI. But it's all the same underlying technology. We're using OCI Enterprise AI and the generative solutions and the models and the governance all to underpin all of those other solutions. That stuff's in huge production, massive volume. We're ready to go. So customers who are interested in moving those workloads or building those workloads for the first time, it's easy to get started in OCI and integrate directly with those applications.
We're ready to go, and we're ready to help them
Absolutely.
get going as well. So one last question, and that's this. If there are just a couple things to tell someone who knows nothing about OCI Enterprise AI, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them that it gives you all of the models that you need so that you can gain insights. It gives you all of the agents so that you can turn those insights into action. And it gives you all the governance you need so you can trust the actions that you're taking.
Nathan, thank you so much. I really appreciate the insight on this, and it's a joy to talk with you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Can't wait to talk with you again, and we'll be back here on Oracle TV.
Realizing the promise of the cloud can be expensive, less flexible, or too difficult to transfer workloads. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is built to help you harness the value of the cloud in the way that you want to. Pay for only the cores and memory you need at the same low price in dozens of regions globally, or within AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud data centers. Save up to 50% or more versus other hyperscaler offerings. Take a free test drive at oracle.com/cloud.
What an incredible and energizing day of conversations here at Oracle AI World Tour in New York City. I mean, it's clear, as we always say, AI is changing everything, and the focus is on the art of the possible. When AI is embedded and connected in the technology platforms that are helping you build, run, and scale your organization. Thank you for watching Oracle TV. I'm Shanna Adamic, and I'll see you next time.